talked about within tech circles for a while, but rarely so starkly or so publicly.
I think in the future we'll have AI coworkers. Those people won't even, they're not even people. They wouldn't be able to be embodied.
AI is not going to take your jobs. The person who uses AI is going to take your job.
AI will be 1,000,000 times more powerful in 4 years than it is right now today. 1,000,000 times. Who knows what we can do with that? There's a lot of things we can do with that.
What used to take, a week's worth of work to plan out for a month, now it's a day's worth of work and the whole month is planned.
This chatbot isn't like you've seen even last year.
The average receptionist was a game changer because it allowed us to see behind the curtains of the missed calls.
Some businesses are seeing 30% more leads. Others are booking 50% more appointments. Churn is down, retention is up. The business is using AI and growing faster than ever.
We grew 72% last year, year over year, and that's directly related to Vendasta.
This is your opportunity to help your customers actually change their lives and help your customers be way more efficient. And they're going to be so happy with you, and you're going to keep that customer for life. But remember, it's a gold rush, so there's never been a better time. You have to start now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Vendasta Connect. We are so glad that you're here. First off, before we get going, I just want to acknowledge that we know that your time is valuable, and we deeply appreciate you taking some of that valuable time, marking it off in your calendar, and joining us at our event here. I hope you're enjoying your summer so far, and around here, we've been hard at work reimagining how local businesses grow. I'm your host, Jeff Tomlin, co-founder of Vendasta. Today is a big moment for us. You're joining us as we showcase our evolution into an AI customer acquisition and engagement platform. And you're going to see exactly what that means for your business and your clients. This event is all about conversations, and not just any conversations, AI-powered conversations that help businesses engage faster, respond smarter, and convert more leads across every channel. Because let's face it, legacy tools leave too many leads on the table. Missed calls, ignored chats, long response times, and disjointed tools make it hard to close a loop. It's a little like trying to run a marketing campaign with a rotary phone, and sadly, some of us remember what those used to be like. But anyway, that's what we're here to fix. Today, we'll show you how Conversations AI and other new tools are helping businesses transform the customer journey from first call to 5 stars and deliver better results at every step. Here's what you can expect. First, we'll hear from Luke Stanton at Neighborly, who will share how they achieved a 372% increase in lead to revenue conversions across AI conversations, using AI conversations across voice, SMS, email, and chat. Then Brian Larson, our VP of Strategy, will walk us through Vendasta's platform direction and how it aligns with the future of customer acquisition and engagement. After that, John Nair will demonstrate Conversations AI in action and show you how it captures leads, books appointments, and responds in real time so no opportunities missed. Next, Nikia Bihil will host a panel with 2 of our partners who are already using AI to engage their customers, win more business, and drive retention. They'll share how their strategies are being employed and what's working best for them so far. We'll finish with 2 focused workshops. First, the AI employee go-to-market blueprint will guide you through packaging, pricing, and positioning strategies that will help you sell AI as a solution to real business problems. Secondly, unlocking custom capabilities. That's where you'll learn and explore how to customize AI-powered workflows to solve specific business challenges and unlock new use cases. So the team is live in the chat during the event. Ask questions, drop your thoughts, and connect with other attendees. Don't worry if you've missed something. We're recording this, and we're going to send out the recording after the event is done. So without further ado, I want to get things started here. First up, we have Luke Stanton. Luke is the Senior Vice President of Franchise Support Services at Neighborly, where he leads customer experience innovation across the company's portfolio of home service brands. And with over a decade of leadership at Neighborly and ProTradeNet, Luke has played a key role in driving franchise growth operational excellence, and the adoption of AI to modernize local service delivery. Take it away, Luke.
Hi everyone, Luke Stanton, SVP for Franchise Support Services over here at Neighborly. Super excited to be with you guys today. We've had a very long-standing relationship with the great folks at Vendasta, and they've been a part of our journey here on how we support our franchise owners and support our customers. Just quick intro on Neighborly. We're a home services franchising organization. We have 19 brands, a little over 5,000 franchise owners globally. And we fit into that space of, practically anything that touches the home. And as you can imagine, lots of different entry points from a consumer standpoint, lots of different things happen around the home. And hi everyone, Luke, and so excited to share with you guys today just a little peek about our journey, what we're doing, and really just how the Vendasta product has come alongside and helped us to grow and to support our customers and our franchise owners. So lots of interesting things to share with you guys in that regard. And so we'll go ahead and jump into it. It's interesting, just the space that we're in, and we're really here to talk about all things AI, right? And what I love about this space is you kind of forget things. And I remember when, despite how young I look, I don't know if you guys are thinking that, but let me just say it. I do remember when the internet came on, and like getting the CDs in the mail, and then like you're opening up the AOL package, and then you're like chunking these things across the neighborhood. I remember that space, right? The dial-up noise, everything, the modem. And in terms of like things that affect the world around us that are revolutionary, the internet obviously was very impactful. And in really short order, we're seeing, a magnitude through the AI space that is significantly beyond the internet. And of course, because it's iterating and changing so quickly, everything around us is changing and evolving. And one of them in particular is consumer expectations. And if you think that AI won't affect that consumer interaction, and that there's going to be, and there is to some degree, some sort of delay based off of the segment of adoption. But if you're not in the forefront of that and digging as deep as you can into the AI of things space, it's a really dangerous space that you might get left behind. And so, I'll give you like one little snippet of an example. Coming out of COVID, right? That was an event that honestly increased mass adoption of technology. And a really great example of that is my 91-year-old grandfather who, is FaceTiming on his iPhone, right? So like those things all of a sudden became a lot easier to some degree because just the global population, everybody was forced to interact through technology. And now you've got AI coming on the scene. And so the adoption of things like that are going to tremendously affect and speed up what consumer expectations. Consumers, once they have needs now, they're looking for a service provider, and they need that expectation to be solved today, right? Even through the younger generations that are coming up, their expectations are super high. And the way that you can start meeting those expectations in a way that we previously probably could not, are through deploying the right systems and processes to get that done. So super exciting space to be in, but something that is just dramatically changing the space around us. And so to give you guys a little bit of a insight into some of our journey, if you look at all the different ways that a consumer might come in and request service and get connected, without the right systems and processes optimizing that customer journey, it's just the nature of the space. Every contractor out there probably has a poor answer rate answering the phone, bad follow-up sequence, bad outbound programs. They're not getting back to customers in a timely fashion. And when you don't do those kinds of things well, the customer moves on. That's the state that we're in today, right? And so we did a pretty big analysis on our consumer journey. Where's the customer? How quickly are we to respond? How quickly are we to respond to leads that come in through other forms beyond the landline? What's happening in that space? And the reality is that we just kind of had some leaks, right? Like there were just spaces where the customer is leaking out. It's not because anyone is running a bad business necessarily. It's just the nature of consumer coming in, a lot of activity, a lot of things happening. How are they moving through that funnel in an organized fashion? So we're not any different than anybody else. You're not any different than anybody else. But because of the technology that are at our fingertips, and Vendasta is a great leading organization in this space, you now have opportunity to connect things that scale quickly. And then what I basically say is it fixes those leaks. Any space, any opportunity for that consumer to kind of leave, you've got this infrastructure in place that helps us to better capitalize on that. So when you think about speed and response time, the consumer is looking for an answer, right? They didn't call you to get a voicemail, right? Or they didn't call you to get a call back. They called you expecting somebody's going to pick up. And even if that call is mixed, when you can start interacting through SMS, it still engages with that customer. And what I think is brilliant about the AI of things is, because we've all had some experience with basically a dumb bot, right? Whether that's SMS or online, you're interacting with something that isn't intelligent necessarily, right? It's following a list of protocol, which is a bit fixed. And again, the thing that is so tremendous about AI is that you're engaging with something that more or less is like reasoning with you as to why you should do business with them. And so it's far more dynamic, far more interactive. And while it's not intentional that you trick the customer into thinking that they're talking to a person, it does allow us to, offer much more nuanced conversation and connection. And when you do that with speed and you do that with consistency, you're putting yourself in a position that is head and shoulders above the competition around us, right? And so like those things are available to us. And again, with the AI things and the tools that are out there, they're really equalizing the playing field in some interesting ways where it's not just the large scale organizations that are going to be able to do this. These tools are also going to make the smaller contractor much more effective. So what was the old journey, right, which is the traditional journey, the conventional journey, which wasn't that long ago, call it 18 months ago, 2 years ago, it's now speeding up this new expectation for what it means to do service with someone. So for us, this is, a much more zoomed out version, but this is kind of what the plumbing starts to look like in terms of where the customer comes in, whether it's a website, once they hit the website, web form, do they call in, where's that customer journey kind of taking them through interacting with you as an organization. And you've got to have all the right trigger points because there's just lots of different places for the customer to eject. And when that happens, what's the follow-up sequence? What are the things that you can get connected with that draw that customer back in? And so this is really just an overview, a very zoomed out overview of how the Vendasta product basically puts you in the driver's seat of ensuring that you're connecting with that customer immediately, right? And meeting their need and preventing them from going to competition or having a poor consumer experience. So, this slide, great service doesn't scale until you add AI. I think there's a real reality to, as a human, like just deploying through labor, you do have constraints. You just do. You have constraints on, did someone not show up for work because they're sick? Did they have to leave for an appointment? And there's just, again, because of the structure, traditionally, there's just opportunities to miss the consumer. And really, me as a consumer, I'm sure you as a consumer too, you've all had this experience. If you've got a need, you're just looking for that need to get met. And some of you prefer texting, some of you prefer chat online, you prefer talking to somebody. And the AI of things and the tech stack that Vendasta has built and deployed, again, is putting organizations, contractors, companies in a position to where, again, that small contractor can scale and serve, in a competitive way to even the large scale organization. So it's pretty tremendous. And here's the easy thing is, because everyone's, trying to figure out what do they do in this space. And let me just pause here for a second. If you're on this call and you don't have a Chat GPT account, I'm just picking that one. I don't really care what you pick, but if you've never, look, it's like $20 a month. I don't know what it is. It's something like that. It's really inexpensive. If you're not using the paid service just so that you can get exposed to the latest iteration, the latest development, like if you're not using those tool sets, look, you are absolutely missing out. And like here's what's happening, right? You know, you'd say, someone might say, like, if you needed an answer, you might say, oh, I don't know, Google it, right? Like already people are saying, I don't know, ask ChatGPT. Okay, like that's a really profound mind shift in, you know, when you say Google it, and that's very familiar, you know exactly what I'm talking about, to say, I don't know, ask ChatGPT. It is representative of how search is going to get impacted and how people are going to use the tools at their disposal to get the answers they need. You know, no longer do we have to go search for something, which is essentially like fishing, right? Now you go to ChatGPT or the AI stack like it, and you're getting actionable answers. Right now, it hallucinates. It's not right 100% of the time. You got to take it with a grain of salt. But you've got to get yourself ingrained with those tools so that you can be familiar and understand and have some knowledge base for how they interact overall. The Vendasta stack is great, but you being a student of the world around you when it comes to how technology is developing and positioning as a company is just really, really critical. So some of you might be saying, I don't know, AI is a little bit of an unknown. It's talked about everywhere, but I really don't know what to do with it. The worst thing you could do is stay in a place of inaction, right? And the best thing you can do is just start failing forward, just kind of getting into it, making mistakes, and not being in a position of waiting to see what happens in the space. So really important that you take some sort of action forward to familiarize yourself with this. Now, I have said this, right? AI is going to kind of level the playing field, because it means that the individual contractor who's got one other tech or whoever it might be is now going to be competitive in a way that they previously would have to like spin and grow their way towards, right? So everybody now gets access to tool sets that make them competitive. But here's something that I think is really interesting that happens, at least until Tesla makes a really like articulated robot that can, you know, do things in the market around us. But I think we're still fairly far away from that. And I don't even know how much of a disruptor that's going to be for, you know, where people prefer human interaction. But I don't know, we'll see. In the immediate, this is what I think starts to happen. You know, I think that we start to use technology, we start to use AI, you know, we start to interact and talk with these instances to get things solved. But I think the human component as a result of this doesn't go away. And I think things change, right? Things shift. There will be new dynamics at play, no question. But I don't think that the human interaction becomes less important. I actually think it indexes the other direction, meaning now every instance where a human is at play, one-on-one, in the home, on the phone, where things escalate, the expectation for that human interaction, consumers are going to be hyper-focused on authenticity, the genuine nature of that interaction. They're not going to be, you know, they're not going to show as much grace for someone having a bad day, right? Their expectations for human interaction are going to go through the roof, right? And so something to think about, because as you're deploying technology, it means that we've also got an opportunity to up our game with the people end of the functions that are still at play. And that's not going away, right? Like people still want to talk to other people. Like we're relational, right? Like that's why we have communities and that's why we have friends, hopefully. That stuff matters in a really big way. And so both kind of get affected by this, but it doesn't mean that we throttle AI or its deployment or anything like that. But it does mean that you have to pay special attention to how you interact when you do have those human interactions. So again, something to pay attention to. One of the things that we talk a lot about today as the consumer comes through is just how do we automate that lead flow. And that's a really critical piece, because again, you have all these different places where the customer can inject from that process. And so if someone comes through, maybe they were submitting or calling or doing something that was convenient for them, and now they're waiting on a reaction back or response back. And the critical piece here is speed and consistency. And so methodology to everything from review, reputation management, the responses within those reviews. We have franchise owners who have multiple locations, so roll-up data, and just the automated campaigns. Every instance where we can just automate a touch point and kind of take ourselves out of the equation, so we apply that speed, that consistency, and within a dynamic that is both genuine and authentic. Those are the kinds of things that drive outcomes. And again, Vendas has been really strategic in that for us. So for us, what that means is we have a lot more visibility into what our funnel looks like, a lot more visibility to what the consumer journey looks like. And as a result, because we have visibility and we're shining that light right in the right direction, we're able to see all the improvements that come from it or come with it, and then continually incrementally improve upon the spaces where, again, we just had leakage because of the nature of the consumer. Every business has it. No one's necessarily insulated against it unless you have the right stack in place to capitalize on it. Something we talk a lot about here is this idea of corporate crime. And that's where, something that's happening, that we've been let happening under our watch that should not happen. Like, I'll give you an example. The phone rings, you should answer it. If the phone's ringing and you're not answering, that's corporate crime, okay? You gotta answer your phone. Those are like the fundamentals on what it means to you doing things the right way. So if you think about the consumer journey, just to throw some statistics at you guys, and it's a pain that you're not necessarily aware of, right? But it's worth looking into is when you engage with a customer and a customer is trying to engage with you, and you're missing that opportunity to engage with them, and you're missing the opportunity in the sequence of events for outbound, it looks something like this, right? 85% of your customers are not going to call you back. So they called you, you didn't answer, they're probably not calling you back. They're probably just moving down the list. 40% of companies fail to follow up after the first initial contact. That's absolutely true. And then you think about the second, the third, the fourth, and the fifth. Nobody's doing that. 30% of that group goes straight to your competitors, and 60% of the customers just fall out of the funnel entirely and don't say anything, don't do anything. And so this, again, is the current state, the normal space that we're in. And businesses, to some degree, are still thriving in that space. What happens when you really start to dial in, that customer journey? So for us, what that looks like is conversations, contacts, leads, and customers. And as you go through that funnel, there's always a trickle down. And everybody has a different conversion rate on leads, different conversion rate on contacts. But ultimately, what does that trickle down to into a final conversion rate? So if you look at this is what's interesting, leads that are coming through and applying the right tech stack methodology, you've already spent the money to generate that lead, right? You as a business owner, if you're in the marketplace, you've already spent the money to make the phone ring. So those are sunk costs. This is really about optimizing what you've already spent and getting the right tool set in place to do that. So it's really easy once you start to optimize that customer journey to exponentially increase the returns on that.
ChatGPT, what's a future-proof
of the one. As a lineman, it's his job to keep the power on. That's why he chooses Grainger for professional-grade products and next-day delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call, click, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You probably know Vistaprint for business cards, but did you know we print everything you need to brand your business? We print banners and signs that help you stand out, and must-have merch like tote bags, t-shirts, and hoodies. Right now, new customers can get 20% off with code NEW20, because if you need it, we print it at Vistaprint.com.
over $745,000 in recurring revenue, and they are still growing strong. They're also the subject of a legendary case study showcasing a 100% client retention rate with AI. Fun fact, Michael has also been to exactly one place in Canada, and that's Saskatoon. So I think we're going to have to get Saskatoon Tourism Group to start paying us to do some marketing for them. Thanks for joining us, Michael.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, Nick, let's start with the problem. Before you deployed AI Receptionist, what was happening with missed calls or inbound leads, either for Blue River or for your clients?
Yeah, so I think most importantly, we want to look at how it's affected our team. We're a small business, just like our clients. So when we think of the missed opportunities that we're having, it's the same things our clients were having, and those were after hours calls taking too long to get back to our clients' leads. It was really just being tied up and too busy to take a phone call. To answering questions on our website, we had manual chat tools where we had to be signed in to be able to answer people's chats, and that just takes people sitting at the computer and monitoring that. We don't have time to do that. So we were missing opportunities over there. But I think bigger picture in all of this, we were seeing our customers they were frustrated with how to actually utilize AI in the business and do it profitably. So I'm sure, as many of you guys have experienced, we go to shows and set up booths and participate in shows alike. And when we're there, we're hearing professionals share about AI, adopting AI and using automation within their business, and how important that is, but nobody seemed to be able to explain how to do that. We literally would be sitting in the back of the room listening to these presentations, and we would hear our potential customers walking out of the room saying, how do we do this? I hear you, I know we need to do it, but I don't know how to do it. And what this has allowed us to do really is to be an expert in that room. So when those folks walk out of the back of those conferences and they see us at our booth, we're able to answer those questions with knowledge and authority, because we're not only utilizing the tools, but we have them that we could resell to them, and we can answer true problems that they're experiencing, and we know they're experiencing because we've experienced it.
That's awesome, Nick. Thanks for that. Michael, your team's been with Vendasta a long time. In fact, not only were you at the last Partner Advisory Council, but you were at the one before that. And one of my favorite things you said there was that propelled you into action with AI and it displaced your apathy. So what made you decide to try AI Receptionist, and what pain points were you looking to solve?
Yeah, it's funny kind of how we got started. We always say this is most of the time our clients come up with better ideas than we do. And it's then we get to go back to the drawing board and figure out how we're going to solve for whatever that pain point is, or uncover whatever that opportunity was. And Vendasta kind of beat us to the punch in this one. I had a client a couple of years ago say that, gosh, I want to eliminate phone calls. And that's forward thinking. That's so many. They're an outdoor company, and so they rely on online bookings and phone bookings. And I thought it was just something else when he said, I want to try to get rid of all the phone calls that I possibly can. And as we dug into that with him, the problem he was trying to solve is he's limited in staff, just like so many of us are. And he wanted his communication opportunities with his client base to be maximized, and that doesn't happen if people are on the phone. And so we thought, that's something else. And then it was shortly after that where we were at the Partner Council, and this idea for an AI assistant came up, and we were just thinking, well, this is it. But to echo what Nick had just said, like, how do we do it? What do we do? And so just diving in with the Vendasta team and being okay to just take a little step here, and it's amazing how quickly that how we were able to advance, and for ourselves first, and then for our clients. And so, as an example for us, one of the pain points for us is we are a small business. We're 25 employees, and we don't have a receptionist, and so we're all busy. Trying to answer the phone was a challenge, or making sure that we're following up is a challenge. And so, by opening the door with conversations, to be able to allow, and we've named Sophia, to be able to be that gatekeeper for ourselves is business changing. She's much better at taking notes than I am. There'll be times a call comes in and we don't have a receptionist, so the call's going to forward to me, and I might be in the car. And that has just changed our business, because now I'm just getting a full summary from Sophia, whether that's by, she's answering via voice or via chat. She's following up for me. So if I can't follow up right away, she's keeping the conversation moving. And then, giving me a full next step. So here's the summary, here's what you need to do next. And then with that feeding right into the CRM, it has just changed so much for us as far as handling our own incoming calls. Plus it helps eliminate all of those spam calls that we all hate getting, the sales calls and all of that stuff. So been enormous for us. Well, so then moving that into our clients, like what I was saying earlier, our clients are bringing the best ideas to us. And now this just gives us this suite of services to help them solve for whatever that one problem might be. Again, maybe they're struggling answering their phone. Maybe they're not following up. One of the big pain points that we uncovered that we didn't even really know is, inside of the conversations, it will show you where the assistant sourced whatever information that they shared. So it's brought to light misinformation on our clients' websites. That why did they answer this? Well, here's the reason why it answered. Here's exactly where on your website it found that information. Oh wow, we should probably change that. And so those are some of the pain points that's one that we didn't even realize we were solving for, that has come out. And I think that's been one of the biggest benefits of this whole system, is teaching us what we didn't even know we should be asking.
I love that. And all innovation comes out of a problem. And I like that guy. He's like, I don't want to answer the phone anymore. Like that's the dream. Does anyone? Okay, Nick. So now that it's in place, how did AI receptionist change the game for your clients or your agency? So like what started working that wasn't working before?
Oh man. So I think the easiest way to sum this up, and I shared this at the PAC previously this year, is I actually had a client call me and tell me to turn it off because they couldn't keep up with the leads that were coming in. So it's amazing. Not all of them work the same way, but most of them do. I turned on a new one previously this week. I had 11 qualified leads in the first day for a client down in the south part of the states here. So some of them, it takes a few days to generate those, but for this client, he's getting a half dozen or so a day on average right now. So it's just amazing what it's doing. It's freeing up our customers to be able to do the jobs that they're great at. They're not all marketers, but they're business owners, and they're good at putting shingles on roofs. They're good at selling homes. They're good at selling cars. But maybe their thing is not marketing. That's what we're there for. And this suite of AI tools, specifically the conversations and the AI chat tool on the website, has come in clutch. It's so easy to set up. We can have it live on our website in less than 5 minutes, and train on the website in that amount of time. And now with the abilities to just upload the knowledge base, we can upload PDF documents, flyers and things that the business has accumulated over the years. We're teaching one assistant everything there is to know about our brand, and really it helps streamline all the conversation throughout the entire company. It's been a blessing to us at Blue River.
Hit play on your next adventure.
We're trying to scale
Stay
right
3
now.
nights this summer at Best Western and get $50 on your future stay. Life's a trip. Make the most of it at Best Western. Visit bestwestern.com for complete terms and conditions.
Established our model, and we're excited for where the future is, and we've got processes in place. We just don't have the time to sit by a phone and answer those calls. We're going to take the qualified ones, obviously, and let the AI assistants screen that and get it to the appropriate person quickly. And so we're able to assist our clients the way we know we need to. So it's been a game changer for us. It's been a game changer for our customer base. And like Michael said, I would say that we may not be 100% like he is, but I think we're 99%. So I'm happy with that. Customers love the products and the stack of products that we have available.
That's awesome. Yeah, what we're seeing with most of our partners is that it's just so sticky. They don't turn over. And what I love what you said, where the solution to the problem was so successful that it became the problem. It's like, we have too many leads, we can't deal with them. Then I know that's a problem people would way rather have than the other way around. And for you, Michael, what's been the most surprising or valuable outcome since deploying AI Receptionist? Like, was there a result or client reaction that really stands out?
I feel like this question is funny because I think it changes each week. What really stands out to me is the opportunity with the platform, with the training. As Nick just said, it really can be up and operational very quickly. And I think maybe the neatest part about all of this is some of our client base that is really tech averse. Like, they are not interested. They really rely on us to do all of the technical things for them. And with the AI assistant, it's given us the opportunity to gradually bring these folks that really don't want to get into technology, these service-based folks, that are not, this is not where they want to be spending their time. It's allowed them to stair step in at their own comfort zone or on their own timeline. The full suite of services is really big, and they might already be doing some of it, with other vendors. But what has been really neat is to be able to watch them progress at their own timeline. I have one client in particular that, when we got on and we showed her the demo of what this could be, she had been working with a chat bot previously, and it really wasn't changing her business in any way, shape, or form. It was just, it was just there because we were supposed to chat. And once we were able, so she was very nervous about the word AI, about allowing her clients to interact with this. But by going through the demo environment and having her get to test it and see it, and then this stair-step approach, now she's like, well, wait a minute. So, okay, now it can do SMS. Yes. Okay, let's get going on that. Wait, it can do email. Let's get going on that. And so it is, as you mentioned, Nakia, that it's the stickiness of it has been just really rewarding, not just for us, but for our clients too, in their interactions with their client base, because their follow-up is better. So I would say that's kind of been the biggest takeaway so far.
That's awesome. Yeah, they're seeing the same wins that you folks are, just a little further down the line.
Yeah.
Hey, I love that. All right. I could talk about this all day, but let's show, not tell. Maybe it's the checkoff. Anyway, Nick, can you share your screen and walk us through something live? Yeah.
All right, here we go. So there's a lot of different things that I could share here. Obviously, we've got the chat receptionist that we've all been talking about, but I kind of wanted to share something a little bit different, something practical that our team has been using and has really allowed us to super serve our clients better. We're able to get proposals and contracts turned back around to our customers much faster. And when we're able to do that, the close rates are higher, specifically on the proposal side of things. So as you can see here, this is our current AI workforce. So it's great. It really doesn't take too long to spin up a new custom assistant here, but there's a little bit of back and forth there that we use in configuration to make sure it's doing what we want it to do. And really, what's really neat Clara on voice receptionist that could go to Banks with his sales proposal, and that can be then sent to Brooke for her to create a contract. So it's really streamlined our process here. One of the early goals that I had with AI is just to become more efficient. So I really wanted to take that opportunity to optimize my calendar. So my goal is I need to be in front of as many customers every day as possible. The more people we can talk to, the more people have a chance to get in front of and share what we can do, the more opportunities we have, obviously. But the problem is that I need time to get back to them. So that piece inevitably gets pushed back down the funnel to it's a day or two down the line. And they're just now hearing back from me from a conversation a few days ago with a proposal or recommendation here. So I've got Brooke and Banks here. It kind of depends on where we're at in the process. I'm actually going to go to Banks and